Welcome to the Guinto Show. My name is Guinto, and here with me today is entrepreneur and founder of Recharge Sports Therapy and Wow Marketing, and an all-around great guy, my buddy and partner, Ryan Singh.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Glad to be on the show here today, Car.
So this podcast is for excellent and expert analyses of various pop culture and societal topics, interviews, and opinions. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Good, man. You're a busy guy. I'm a busy guy, but we're here to record this last minute.
Yes,
but it's
sir.
all good.
It is great. No, I'm glad to be here. It's good to finish off the day with a nice podcast, I gotta say.
Yeah, you're a busy guy. You have a lot of things in motion.
I guess it is fair to say. Yeah, I guess it's fair to say. I have a few things going on right now.
So before we get into all that you're going through, let's start off how we met.
Yeah, for sure. So basically,
do you remember how we met?
I remember. Yeah. I remember. We what class was that? This was university in our first year of the faculty of kinesiology at the U of M, and all I remember is I sit next to this beauty, and we start sparking up a conversation. We talk about training and lifting, and basically we just kind of sit next to each other moving forward, and then we developed a relationship in the gym, and it kind of solidified as we made those gains a little each year, made that progression. So
what I remember is that it was intro to professional practice.
Yes.
So I walk in, I'm I'm last minute guy, so I walk in 2 or 3 minutes before it started. Then I look around, I'm like, who's more approachable? And then I'm like, hot chicks here, some douchey looking dudes here. And then I look, I'm like, Ryan, not Ryan, but then there's this guy. I'm like, I guess he looks okay. And I sit beside him, and that's where we met.
Oh yeah, that rings a bell for sure. Yeah.
And so so that's where I met Ryan, and then we started talking and shit, obviously. And then our buddy John, there was this portion of the class where we had to walk up to people and introduce ourselves. And then John Tadeo, our buddy, comes up to our group,
Johnny
and
boy.
then he introduced himself to us. And then, we've been pretty tight since then.
Exactly. That's
For
how it
4
all.
years.
Yeah, that's how it unfolded. Lots of hours in the gym together. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, that's kind of how we met, though. It's been a while, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's we had so many classes together, so we basically our whole university career.
Basically,
chilling.
yeah. It's
Right?
nice. It's nice, yeah.
It's a lot, though, how do you feel not being in school?
How do I feel not being in school? You know what? Honestly, I feel very relaxed and feeling like I could almost just spread my wings at this point, because I felt like as a student, you got your assignments, you got your papers, finals, midterms, all that stuff to take care of. And you never really have time to focus on what you want to do or what you enjoy doing before you got into university.
Right.
For example, playing basketball, working out, cycling, doing all the active stuff that I like to do before I actually got into university. Yeah. I find now I have the freedom in my time to partake in those activities.
Yeah.
But honestly, it feels great. It feels great to.
It's good to be away from politics too, right?
Exactly.
Because you were president of the.
I was president of the Athletic Therapy Student Association, and enjoyed that. Yeah. And again, it took a lot of time, but you know what? I learned a lot from it, and I definitely grew in that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you would have changed anything in university?
In university, that's a good question.
Because you were always loaded with classes and studying, and then obviously you worked there too.
Yeah. If in terms of changing anything, honestly, I don't think I changed anything. I really enjoyed being extremely busy. In my final year, I had a few roles at university, and I was working 5 jobs at one point in January, and it got to a point where I was like, okay, I basically get home at 10:30, 10 o'clock p.m., study from 11 until 2, and then wake up, get to the gym in the morning, and go from there. But I must say, the most important thing that I found in school was that balance between your professional life and your personal life.
Yeah.
And for me, the personal life really was, it revolved around fitness and getting in the gym. It developed a mindset that just makes you essentially crush everything. Like it really helped. But yeah, I really I feel nice that I'm done school now. I'm sure you feel the same way. How do you feel?
Well, like schools, like we basically had kind of the same structure. Like I would, well, a little different because I'd go to school and then I'd work. So I'd get home at like 11 and then whatever time for studying. And then I'd wake up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym.
Oh yeah.
So, but then of course, like you had actually a lot of duties while I had like some leisure time, like working out and stuff like that. But it's good because like I felt I was, you have to be professional even in school, right?
For sure.
You're surrounded by other professionals and other students that want to be professionals. So you have to put this kind of like guard or like front,
right,
to like every time you're there. And it's good now that I don't have to do that because I proved myself with a degree, which I think what most people would go to university for, just wanted to, they get the degree and then you solidify yourself as somebody who's achieved something huge, right?
Right. No, for sure. It's a big accomplishment.
And yeah, it's good being out of that because now that I have that, I think people will see me a little different. Like
I see you differently, that's for sure.
Because I was like, I'm known in university as like, no, I don't think I'm. Well, yeah, everyone parties in university, but then
right,
I partied a lot too. Still,
that's no problem with that, man. Everyone, you gotta spend your time how you want, right?
Yeah, that's but then sure. I find myself not partying a lot anymore because it's weird.
Yeah.
It's probably because I'm a little older, but
right.
And for me, it's like being healthier, so not drinking all the time is kind of huge for me right now. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you also had like stuff before like University of Manitoba. You've been doing other things.
I've been doing other things. Yeah, I had a few things on the fly. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, what were those things?
Before university?
Yeah.
So basically, I dropped out of university in my first year because I thought, you know what, this isn't for me. I wasn't succeeding the way that I anticipated, and I went to Red River College.
Yeah.
And it actually took automotive course where it was 1 year, learned a ton about cars. That's something not a lot of people know about me. I'm very passionate about automobiles and like engines and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I decided, you know what, I really want to try this out. So I tried it, and I just didn't think it was the right profession for me.
Yeah.
But to this day, I still enjoy working on my own car.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing all that kind of stuff, maintenance, mods, all that stuff on my own. But yeah, it was really...
What made you change your mind about doing that as a profession?
What made me change my mind? It was honestly just the fact that I couldn't make it my own.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't make it my own. But I really enjoyed it though. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I mean, and you have the skills, so if you wanted to even get that started again, you can do it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's something that I always keep in my back pocket. But from the time being, from moving forward, I feel like I'm gonna stick in the health and wellness realm. So
that's cool.
I just have that automotive kind of in my back pocket, So if I want to do oil change, boom, whip it out, and then just kind of get things rolling. Yeah, literally.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you could start another business yourself if you wanted.
If I wanted to, yeah, that's always an option. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of things going. So when I first met you, you told me that you're gonna open your own facility for therapy.
Good memory. Yeah. Very nice.
And then you had a place locked in already.
Yeah.
And then look at right now, you have that going on. So like, what made you want to go into athletic therapy anyway, rather?
So funny story. Actually, I was working at a gym, and at this gym, I worked at the front desk, and I was talking to one of my coworkers, and they mentioned that they just graduated from the AT program, and I was like, "What is AT? Like, what is it?"
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, it's athletic therapy," and that's how I first got introduced to athletic therapy. During that time, I was pursuing kinesiology, and I was just in my second year of university, and that's kind of how I heard about AT. But
Right.
yeah, I kind of had a few things on the fly then.
Yeah, because kin is like, hey, if you're really into sports, I mean, kin's the way to go,
Oh, for
right?
sure. No, I love kinesiology.
Yeah.
It's really hammers down on high performance training in general, and honestly, I have a passion for kinesiology as well.
Yeah.
The study of movements, forces on the body, and how you could basically go from a B player to an A player physically.
Right.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Do you think university ever like fully develops a kinesiologist to be a trainer, or does experience really play a huge factor in all that?
I feel like it comes down to the person from a relative point of view.
Right.
If someone doesn't really have the experience, they might not do as well as someone with experience, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of does university get someone prepared, I would have to say yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
It's just the matter of actually applying those principles that you learn in school.
Right.
If you don't do that, then what's the point of even going to school, right?
Exactly.
You have to reflect, constantly learn, and apply what you learn and execute. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
could plan all you want. If you don't execute, you might as well pack it in.
Yeah, because AT program is built a little different, right? You are constantly doing like
Yeah, we're constantly doing clinic and field work, and it's actually simultaneously happening while you're in classes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you find that that's an issue with the whole program with phys ed and all that? Because not all the streams have that real life experience like AT does.
Right. I feel like it. I can't really speak too much to the phys ed and the other programs, but I feel like as long as because do they get practicum? If they get practicum hours, then I feel like that's very very good.
Yeah, but it's not as intensive as yours would be, or the AT program is, right?
Well, I guess so. I guess
because you guys are constantly having jobs every weekend.
We're constantly getting hammered. Yeah, because we're placed with the team. So I guess it is a little more, a little higher emphasis on the practicum component.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they're both all the programs and the faculty are very very strong.
Yeah. Do you find that a lot of AT people actually like stick to it?
I feel like what do you mean?
Like once you graduate with that in that program, do you think they stick around? Because there is another qualification you need to get.
Yeah, so after you graduate, you have to pass the CATA written national exam.
Yeah.
And I feel like, just speaking from people that I know, some people aren't working in the field. Some people are working in the field. Some people are working directly as athletic therapists, but they're also working as in a medical facility, but not quite as an athletic therapist.
Right.
So, yeah, I feel like there is opportunities. It's just reaching out, and
it depends on the person.
It depends on the person. Yeah, just reaching out for it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's good.
Well, yeah, you're the president, so you kind of know more about that stuff, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, that was more so just internal inside of the university, getting leadership experience. Yeah, in terms of like professional development, it's all about getting out there and seeking opportunities, and just grabbing it and crushing it. I refer to it as the juicing principle.
Right.
When you have an opportunity, you literally crush all the juice out of the orange, and that really the juice is experience in this case, and it lets you get the best experience out of the thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
So I try and apply that to everything, including the work that I do, the leadership positions I was in my past.
Yeah, that's great because, like, not a lot of people are that way, right?
Right.
I mean, you can see it, like, in people's performances.
So, oh, for sure, yeah.
I mean, that's why I gravitated towards you and John, because you guys clearly worked hard for what you guys wanted, right?
Yeah.
And like for me, like I didn't want to be around people who aren't like that. So
That's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair.
because people who aren't like driven like that
Hmm.
kind of like stall your own.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, I do feel like I gravitate towards people who are more optimistic and positive.
Yeah.
Something I don't tolerate in my personal life is negativity and pessimism,
Right.
because it just kills your mood, decreases productivity, and it just brings your entire mood down. So
Yeah.
what's the point, right?
Did you see that a lot in students? Because that's what I saw. A lot of people were, complaining about classes and waking up early.
Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah, I guess I did feel that or hear that a lot. But again, it's more of a preference. I feel
Right.
if somebody if you feel like that's okay, then by all means, you know what, go for it. But just speaking from a personal point of view,
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy pessimism or just negativity in general.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not healthy to.
For sure, yeah. Productivity is something that I really I hammer down on, and like as a business owner, you really need to focus on what I call functional work. You could go to work for 2 hours and say, okay, I'm going to get X, Y, and Z done, but you could do that for 2 hours. But if you're working at a high functional level of work, then you're able to get that 2 hour job done in 30 minutes, and then you have another hour and a half to accomplish anything else.
Exactly, getting things done right away, and then you have more opportunities for doing much more than you planned. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And it comes down to minute things that you wouldn't even think about, turning your notifications off on your phone.
Yeah.
Because interestingly enough, whenever you get a notification and you look at your phone, it takes 12 minutes to regain that focus that you had previously.
Yeah.
So it's crucial to avoid that while you're in a deep state of work.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I need like noise, like my noise that I want.
Yeah.
In order to focus.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how I get into my stage. Like, well, it's kind of like working out, right? We're using headphones. Like,
for sure.
Hey, no one talk to me. I'm trying to get this stuff done. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I take that into my professional life too.
Okay. Cool.
Because distractions, take you away from opportunities.
Yes, that is 100% correct.
Yeah. So let's get into like your business now. Like, why Recharge Sports Therapy? Where did you come up with the name? How did you get everything going?
Yeah, so Recharge Sports Therapy. The name stemmed from what I believed would be an effective method of. Basically, the name promotes healing in and of itself. So recharge. Okay, so you're injured, you got to recharge yourself. That's kind of how I came up with the name. I had a few other names in mind, which I can't really say, but Recharge was the one that really stuck out.
Oh, why can't you say?
I just feel like it's.
You're gonna put it in your pocket for other things.
Maybe.
Oh,
we'll say that. But Recharge, that really kind of stood above all, and sports therapy, because of course we're athletic therapists and massage therapists and physio. So it makes sense to have that in the name. In terms of like the color scheme and branding of things, color subconsciously plays a very important role, as you may understand. Green resembles peace, tranquility, calmness, while blue resembles intelligence and So if you incorporate multiple colors, it helps the brand come off as a more welcoming look.
Well, I thought green made sense because recharging your phone would be a green icon.
Exactly. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. And that's also why I picked green. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And
so,
then
So how did you lock up the building for?
Well, I know the land. I knew the landlord was looking for tenants, and I kind of found that spot, and I specifically chose that spot because it's a very densely populated area, and that's something that you need to hammer down on. Location. If you have a bad location, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, how much traffic are you going to get? How many leads are you going to generate? Are you going to convert anyone from those leads? Exactly. It's almost impossible to do that because you have no leads. So it's honestly the demographics in the area was really what I was looking for as well.
Exactly.
But yeah, location was
because it's smart
huge.
because that area is like full. Well, I mean, I grew up in that area basically.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I mean, McPhillips is a huge street, and it's like
Oh, it's
2 minutes
huge.
away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a great location.
For sure. Yeah.
So what was like the process of like getting everything, like all your products, all your equipment, and all that?
Yeah, it was a lengthy, very lengthy process.
When did that all start?
It started probably. When did it start? I want to say about a year ago.
Yeah.
Before I even finished school, because I knew I had this plan, and I knew that I wanted to get this rolling right out of the doors.
Yeah.
So it probably started about a year ago, and just started accumulating things. And as things got a little more serious, like graduating, certifying, that's when I really started getting a lot more into the more efficient pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a process. That is for sure.
Was it all part of the dream, like getting all this stuff?
Oh, it was all part of the dream. I remember the first piece of equipment I got was a foam roller.
Yeah.
I still have that foam roller, and I feel like I should keep that foam roller at the clinic until like just as long as I can.
Yeah, put it in the case.
Put it in the case. Yeah, first piece of recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, like, were there any issues that came up with that? Because
with equipment in general,
with the whole
thing. Yeah. So the number one thing that if there's any therapists or healthcare professionals listening to this, the number one thing, as you may know, is going to be setting up direct billing. That is a pain in the rear end.
For sure.
You need to communicate with a ton of insurance companies and get that going. But as soon as you get it going, you're good, and things are running smoothly.
Yeah. Shoot, direct billing.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
How does that even set up? You just call them, and then obviously if
you call them, you're on hold for a very long time, very very long time, and you kind of bounce between lines, and they transfer you here and there, but you're on hold for a while.
Yeah, because they need proof and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, they need to check out your all your numbers basically for your business and for yourself as a practitioner and for your location and all that stuff. So it's a long haul journey. That's for sure.
What was the first so obviously I've been to your place, like you have constantly bringing in new things, new projects. Like what else is part of Recharge Sports Therapy other than the therapy section?
Well, I do offer, Recharge does offer a personal training and nutrition. And what's involved with the personal training and nutrition services is personal training, of course. I just put a gym in Recharge and it's looking pretty sharp. But so there's personal training, and we also offer nutrition services with one of the staff members. And basically those are the options that we have. We have massage therapy as well. Those are the services that we offer. But things are always growing. Things are always on the move.
Yeah,
we're always seeking growth. So near the future, we may hire a registered dietitian,
right,
and kind of go from there. But for now, those are the services that we offer: athletic therapy, physio, massage therapy, personal training, and we have a sports medicine doctor as well that comes in and checks out individuals that require it.
So how many, I guess, employees do you have or staff working?
Right now, there's about 6.
Oh, that's huge, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Taking control of 6 individuals is pretty...
Well, I mean, I'm not taking control. I'm just I'm leading them. I'm leading and just helping each other learn, essentially.
Yeah. So you open when?
November 1st.
November 1st.
Yeah.
So what are your plans for the future?
For the plans for the future, there are a few things in mind. Definitely in terms of growth.
Yeah.
But I guess short-term plans for the future is
building up clientele, obviously.
Yeah, building up clientele, making sure that everyone is following all the systems efficiently and
Mm-hmm.
solidifying the systems, and from there, kind of
Building your brand.
building the brand and focusing on marketing very heavily. So
Oh yeah, perfect segue. So you just started WoW marketing today,
yes,
basically.
that is today is the official launch of WoW marketing.
Yeah, so tell me about that. Like, you told me about this previously, but you weren't sure at the time. You were like, "I'm gonna launch it," but I didn't. But now you actually did.
Yeah. So what WoW marketing is it is a source of marketing services for specifically people who want to increase their awareness online, build sick introductions to their videos, just completely film videos,
right,
and make it look very clean, professional with the services that we offer. So I have a lot of experience working with different gyms, physio clinics, private clients, and what they ask me to do is, oh hey, we need a video made. Okay, perfect. I'll come down there. We'll do a shoot, and then we'll also do a logo and a animation of the logo, so it looks completely unreal.
yeah.
So that's some of the services that we offer. But I had my hands in a few marketing positions here and there. I was the marketing director of a clinic in the past, and I learned a lot in that position. And also I researched a ton, read a lot of books, and it kind of just grew as I kind of kept on reading and that kind of thing, and improved my game.
Right.
And the whole vision of my marketing experience was to get to a position where I could open up a marketing business as well. So
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of an outsource for different businesses, entrepreneurs, vloggers, anyone who really wants to have an online presence that pops.
Right.
They'll kind of reach out. So
what do you think the biggest marketing mistake is for most businesses or gyms?
The biggest mistake I feel for most businesses and gyms or anything really is trying to build your company when you don't have a brand, when nothing is behind the brand. For example, if you're promoting whiteboards, just because I'm using this as an example because we're sitting in front of one, if we're promoting whiteboards, just saying, oh, we're selling whiteboards, $39.99 for a 4 foot by 4 foot. No, you have to say, okay, we're selling whiteboards, and this you have to say what the brand is all about, right?
Exactly.
So okay, we're the X brand, and what we're all about is providing excellent customer service, going above and beyond, because we're B players. We're not we're number 2 we're working towards number 1. So we have to do more work than number 1 for you, the customer.
Yeah. Yeah, I see like most gyms especially have no identity. They're
exactly.
Just a gym.
Yeah.
That's why gyms like Good Life, I mean, they establish their identity with
very strong.
They have a bunch of quotes.
Yeah.
They have the way the gym looks is like basically the same everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of gyms, especially new gyms, they just don't know what they are. Like, what are they?
Yeah.
Are they strictly powerlifting? Are they strictly group training?
Or bodybuilding?
Or bodybuilding? What are
Pilates,
they?
yoga, yeah.
Like, what differentiates yourself from other gyms, right?
Right, yeah. No, and that's huge. You need to have something that you stand behind before you promote it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
having an identity, that's important. And also just making sure that you're putting out quality content. You're not just tossing out a random thing. It has to be quality, and you have to provide value for the customer, for the audience.
Because ultimately your product is what brings people in or out, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the product. That's the key.
Yeah. I mean, obviously relationships is a huge thing too, right?
I feel like that's...
Like for you, like you're a guy in our stream, like the Kin Phys Ed Rec AT program, you know a ton of people. Like I would see you just talking to people like who I've never spoken in my life. I'm like, wow, Ryan, you just literally say hi to everybody.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's all about networking, right?
Well, is it just like a burden? It's like whatever. Like, I gotta say hi.
No, honestly, I genuinely enjoy talking to people and just hearing their story. Having a random conversation.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I enjoy it. That's for sure.
Just not in the gym, right?
Yeah, just not in the gym. In the gym, there's in my professional life, there's one. That's one thing. But whenever you're in the gym, that's when the hood's up, headphones are on. Don't talk to me because I'm getting my stuff done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's WOW Marketing and Recharge Sports Therapy.
Yes, got to stay better than yesterday and healthy as can
better
be.
than yesterday. That's a great motto.
Yes, thank you very much.
Because that's essentially why would you just constantly improving? That's
for sure, every day by day.
The easiest way to word it. Just hey, better than yesterday.
Exactly. Whether it be fitness, health, wellness, injuries, better than yesterday is what you got to be, right? Whether it be from a mindset point of view or from a physical point of view.
Yeah. So you brought up earlier that personal training, bodybuilding. I know that you're a national level bodybuilder.
Yes,
Let's get into that. Yeah. Why did you want to get into that? Obviously, we established that you love health, fitness, and wellness.
Yeah. So I found that I was training, like I was getting my workouts in, and I wasn't training for anything, and I was kind of an aimless kind of workout regimen, and I thought, what the heck? Why don't I just try something? So I thought, okay, I'm going to try bodybuilding, getting shredded down to 5%.
Yeah.
And I actually tried my first bodybuilding show. I started my prep in January 2016.
I saw that. He put up on his Instagram or Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah.
Of his notebooks, saying detailing his diet and whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was I always keep that because I feel like you should never forget where you started. But basically I started in January 2016 and I failed miserably. I was at 13% body fat and I didn't register for the show because I kind of wanted to play it by ear.
What happened that you couldn't make that goal?
Well, honestly, I didn't know enough.
Right.
And I did it all on my own. All my shows, I did my own nutrition. I did my own workout programs, all that stuff. And I based it all on literature, academia, research papers. I read a lot about exercise physiology in my spare time. Yeah. As mouth-watering as that sounds, very juicy content.
Yeah.
But I genuinely enjoyed that whole process. But I didn't want to do it because I wasn't stage ready. I wasn't show ready at 5% or lean enough. So about 2 weeks before, I'm like, hey, this isn't happening. Yeah. So I ended up pulling the plug, and then
You think it was the diet mostly, or what?
I feel like it was the diet. 100%. Yeah.
What do you remember?
From that diet?
Yeah.
Incorrectly?
Yeah.
I would have to say I didn't stick to it to a T.
Yeah.
And I didn't do what I do now, which is carb cycle.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like carb cycling, it got me the most results and I tried a lot of diets. I tried a lot of, I guess you don't have to call it a diet. You could call it ways of eating. You could call it whatever you want. But I did carb cycling for all my shows, and that's how I really leaned out. Mm-hmm. I tried intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
I did not like it. My training was terrible, and I had almost minimal results.
Yeah. Well, I found that too, is because you read about it, you're losing weight, but you're also gaining muscle. But
exactly,
not for everybody, obviously.
Not for everyone. That's for sure.
Because it's hard to have a 6 hour window. How did you do it? 18.6?
Yeah, I did 18.6.
Yeah, 6 hours of getting 2,000 plus calories.
Exactly.
That's so difficult.
No, that's definitely something that is challenging. Yeah, for sure.
So how did you bounce back?
Well, like I said, I started doing a lot of research for nutrition and specifically about exercise physiology and rep ranges and rest to work ratios, time over tension, progressive overload, and how to target it efficiently. So that's kind of how I alleviated, or how I got to the next level there. And I did my first show and I felt great. That was the leanest I ever was. Yeah. And I will never forget just how that felt. It was great. But something that I took away from that whole process that sticks with me till today is the mindset. You have to have that mindset that basically you're always going to try and outwork anyone
Anybody
that steps on the stage, right? So you have to have the mindset of, okay, so I'm getting myself into this, and I'm accepting that I'm not going to be able to eat cake and chocolate and all the food that I want. I'm going to probably be a little more hungry.
Yeah.
As long as you accept it and you don't just complain about it every day, you will be a little happier. So taking that mindset away from that is definitely something that I found beneficial.
Yeah. How's like the being show ready? Because of course you have to go shave, you have to do.
Yeah.
How's that process?
The whole process behind stepping on stage is a little interesting. Generally, this is how it works for most people. So whenever you're like, I guess 1 week out, you go for your first layer of tan, and the tan is sorry. Let me start. So you got to shave every hair of your body, including your feet.
Really?
Yeah, like the tiny. Yeah, it's a little. Yeah. So that's that, and then you have to go for your first layer of spray tan.
Yeah.
And I just remember this vividly. I asked the person who was doing my tan, like, what should I bring? And they're like, oh, just bring one sock. And you could imagine what that's for. Yeah, so you do that, and you bring out the good old sock, and then you kind of, I guess it's not 7 days out, it's probably like 3 days out.
Yeah.
And you can't you can't sweat for the first few hours while you're on the tan. And then like 1 day out, you go for another layer, and same thing. You kind of you bring a sock, and then you get tanned. And again, you can't sweat, you can't get wet because it'll run off right away, right? The purpose is to make sure that you have an even complexion. Right. But in terms of training for the last week, it is for the first 3 days. Generally, it's extremely the first 3 days of the last week. So days 7 to 3 or 7 to 4, it is extremely tough. That's how I set it.
Right.
I do depletion workouts, and
what does that consist of?
Depletion workouts?
Yeah.
For my depletion workouts,
tell the audience.
It is the last depletion workout I had of my most recent show. It was 1.5 hours of cardio.
Holy shit.
And I remember I put on some movie, The Rock was in it. It was great. And then I trained for an hour and a half, all 12 plus reps to train to deplete the muscles of the glycogen stores.
Yeah.
And after that, had a nice carb up. And
what do you carb up with?
Pasta usually.
Yeah.
So
something really carby.
Really carby, yeah. I don't like doing rice because I have some GI inflammation after that.
Yeah.
But I try to really stick with pasta and But a day before the show, I usually wake up, like the night of the show, I wake up at like 2 a.m. I have a little chocolate bar, like a mini, those Twix minis, Halloween packages. I pound one of those back, go back to bed, wake up at like 5, have like a bunch of pancakes and all that stuff. This is after weigh-ins,
right?
Because weigh-ins is the day before. And from there, just kind of take it slow. You're not allowed drinking water the day of the show.
Makes sense.
And you kind of, right before you step on stage, have a Reese, have a chocolate bar, some simple fast-acting sugars, and then you get on stage, and then you get off stage, and then you eat.
How is it backstage with like all the other competitors? How does that look like?
It's actually very tame. Very tame, yeah.
Everyone's like tired and depleted.
I guess so, yeah. Everyone's tired, depleted. And a lot of people, like myself, we brought sleeping bags, we brought pillows and suitcases. In the suitcases, we had weights, and we'd lie down. Everyone, it would be super calm in the morning. Everyone would be almost sleeping. You'd be lying down with your feet elevated, and then you kind of just do that so you don't have a lot of blood pooling.
Oh, really?
In your legs.
Wow,
yeah,
that's a thing.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Some people take a shot of vodka before they go on stage to
really
try and lean out a bit more of it. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So your first show back from not making it to the stage, like, how did you do basically?
How did I do? Well, there was 4 people in my class, and I got 4th, and I honestly felt. I was just very happy that I was able to step on stage and get down to the leanness that I was at.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was definitely nice.
Yeah.
But I felt like it's very hard to describe. You set a goal that you feel is impossible, like get shredded to the bone,
Yeah.
and you crush that goal,
Yeah.
and you're on stage and you're doing your poses or whatever. It truly feels amazing.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So obviously you're national level. So how do you even get to national level? You have to win a bunch of competitions, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, you have to place being get in the top 5 of your shows, and basically from there you you do your provincial qualifiers. So you do your, what's it called? It's like the first show before the provincial qualifiers. No, it's the provincial qualifiers, and then you do provincials, and then you get invited to nationals.
All right.
Yeah, so I was going to do nationals this summer, but when I was about 7 weeks out, I rolled my ankle pretty badly.
Shit, eh?
Yeah, I was on crutches. It was rough, but I
How'd
tried
you do that?
I was jogging outside.
Oh dang.
Yeah, and it was rough. Potholes, man, potholes. But,
Potholes of the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, so ended up not being able to compete this year, which I was a little disappointed about. But hey, I mean, there's always next year.
So you're planning on competing next
Oh
year?
yeah, for sure.
Shoot, man.
In June, nationals.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your own place where you can pose and
Oh, for
do all your
sure.
other things.
Yeah, no, that's it's all part of the plan, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Jeez. So what organization is this? Just NABA or?
This is the CBBF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're the national body for. There's a few national organizations, but this is just the one that I'm planning on competing in.
Right. Damn, man.
Yeah.
When are you starting your prep and all that?
February 15th.
Oh, you got it all planned out.
Oh yeah.
So you're gonna be on stage next year, this year for sure.
This year for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
barring like injury and stuff, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, if I do get injured, I'll probably just get someone to treat it, or I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, just knock on wood, stay healthy, and grind out a solid prep.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez. So let's talk about your relationships, man. I know you're
My relationships.
I know that we talked about this before the show, but I mean, we don't have to get too into it. So yeah, tell me.
Okay, what do you want to know? What do you want to know?
So your history with relationships.
My
man.
history. Well,
I mean,
yeah, no, I had a few relationships.
Let's start off with your first one, man.
My
high
first
school,
one?
junior high.
Okay, well, yeah, if you really want to know, yeah, I guess I had a relationship right out of high school, right out of the doors, had that for a long-term kind of thing. And
what happened?
I'm not going to go into that. I'm sorry, man. No, but yeah, basically things ended, and from there, just kind of had a few relationships here and there, and yeah, that's kind of the whole story. That's kind of the whole story there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
You don't want to get into it?
No, I feel like I should keep it behind. Yeah.
I mean, no names, man.
No names, yeah.
Well, how do you feel about like relationship itself? Is just like it's difficult, or what's going on?
No, I feel like I feel perfectly sane right now.
Yeah.
Got a thing on the fly. You get your personal time, you get your relationship time. It's good.
So just like, I mean, you don't have to get into it, obviously, but just things didn't click. Is that just a big issue, or?
Well, at this point in my life, I feel like I need to focus on business, and
Yeah.
that's my number one. So it's not really that things don't click. It's just I'm not kind of actively pursuing anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a lot more to focus on.
Yeah. So what are your other interests then? Like, I know we watched Avengers Endgame together.
Oh yeah, no, the Marvel
so you're a
movies are
huge
nice.
Marvel head. Then.
Yeah, Marvel is.
How did that all start? I mean, you're a kid.
Of course, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't read the comic books, but the movies, like Iron Man, I watched all of them growing up. 2008 when Iron Man was released. Yeah. I'll never forget that first trailer that I saw, and then kind of just decided, I'm going to watch the rest and do more research. And
research as in what?
Like I searched up like Marvel characters and the whole timeline and who the enemies are, who the superheroes are, what their powers are, all that stuff.
So who's your favorite?
My favorite is definitely Iron Man.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
Is it because of just like Robert Downey Jr. playing that role.
No,
extremely
it's because he hammers that role, and it's nice. It's nice to see. But in terms of why, it would be because he built it from the ground up.
Yeah,
It's just it's someone you can look to for inspiration, but never be as good.
Yeah, and he's flawed too, right? Because he's a dick a lot of times. And,
For sure.
You know, at the end, he comes out saving everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. No, for sure.
What was your favorite movie? In
The
the entire series.
the whole in Marvel's history, my favorite movie would have to be the Black Panther. The blend of tradition, culture, romance, heroism.
Yeah.
And it was just a very classic movie. Right. I enjoyed it, and it was like even the soundtrack. Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah,
it was great.
Amazing, you know?
Yeah, it was good. What's yours?
My favorite.
Your favorite, yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Well, why Black Panther? Like other than obviously what you mentioned, do you think Killmonger stole the show or what? Because that's what I think.
I think Boseman stole the show.
Really?
Yeah, you know Killmonger, he did have a great performance. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Chadwick Boseman nailed the position down to the T. Like it was perfect.
Oh, he was great in that.
He was great. Yeah.
What about your least favorite?
My least favorite Marvel movie?
Yeah.
That would have to be Captain Marvel. It was just so lacking in terms of everything action, like the storyline. It was just so messy, and it was way too sci-fi for me. Way too sci-fi.
Like
it. I don't know. I didn't
sci-fi or because Guardians of the Galaxy is sci-fi.
No, what I mean by that is it was just so sporadic.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
everything that was happening, I'm like, what the heck is even going on?
There's no through line.
There's no through line. No.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about Infinity War and Endgame?
Oh man, those were.
I mean, we watched it together.
We watched them together. Those were fantastic movies. Like Endgame, that was probably.
What was our time? 1 p.m. We watched it, or 12?
That was on? Yeah, I think that was a Saturday. Yeah. It was like super late and midnight release. Car, me, John.
Yeah.
That was a good time. Yeah. Did we bring pizza into that movie?
No, you brought nuggets. Bro.
Yeah. Eating nice and healthy. Yeah.
Because the next day we had our grad, dinner.
Yeah, true.
And it was like, I'm gonna see these guys tomorrow in like 10 hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it was. Yeah, that was a great experience. The movie was unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. That's probably tied with the Black Panther.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it ended it perfectly, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It should be interesting moving forward, though.
Yo, what do you think's happening in the future? I mean, it's pretty much a clean slate now.
It's pretty much a clean slate. I feel like the Marvel Cinematic Universe will go downhill from here.
You think so?
I think so.
Why?
Because this was like it'll take a while for them to build up this much anticipation.
Another 10 years, probably.
Who knows? Another 10 years, but what characters are they going to have by then?
Yeah.
They'll have a bunch of random characters like
I
don't even know, Catwoman or something.
That's a fucking DC, man.
Yeah, maybe not Catwoman, but it's like a guy who showed up once in a comic, and they'll make a movie about him.
I mean, they do have X-Men and Fantastic Four now, right?
That's true. Yeah, so it could be interesting, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, I know you have other interests as well. You play instruments.
Yes, I do. I play a lot of guitar. I play piano every now and then. That's something that I do.
Was it just self-taught or
the guitar? No, I went to guitar class. I took guitar in growing up, adolescence, in school. I had a pretty strong program at the schools that I went to, and learned a lot. But I did teach myself a lot of this stuff. I looked at guitar tabs. Anyone trying to learn guitar, look at guitar tabs and start out just nice and easy. Stairway to Heaven. It's that's a good starting point. Learn how to pick. Learn how to strum. Learn how to alternate. Like it's good. But I really enjoy it. It's something that I do to just relax.
You still do it now? Frequently?
Not frequently, probably once every second week.
Do you wish you did it more or what?
Yeah. I feel like it'd be nice if I had a little more time to play some guitar.
Why don't you just bring it to
Bring it to Recharge.
Recharge and play when you don't have clients? Or...
I could, but I don't feel like I should do that. It might not be as productive. Whenever I don't have clients, I'm always doing something. I'm always working.
Oh, okay.
But
because I mean, you have the other business, WoW marketing. You have videos.
There's a lot of things when it comes to the day. It's that you got to take care of. But I feel like if I had a lot more time, I'd definitely utilize playing music. It's relaxing. Do
you wish you could do stuff like that more often? Other than, I mean, I know your business is important to you, but it's good to have something that you're not on the clock on too, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel like it's. I'm truly happy doing what I do. Like it excites me whenever I kind of get to work.
Right.
So honestly, I wouldn't really rather change it. Yeah.
Anything like other interests, like even like sports or?
Yeah, I used to be really into basketball. Played a lot of basketball growing up, and I just, again, I don't have the time to dedicate to playing on a team or anything like that. Even watching sports, I try to watch some football every now and then, but no, not really.
Right. I mean, you work with a lot of athletes too. How's dealing with professionals? Is that daunting? Is it just
no? It's just like you're dealing with you're working with another person.
Yeah.
Right. It's definitely have to be on your A game, but aside from that, they're a normal person. You just gotta talk to them and go from there. It's not really intimidating or anything like that.
Do you think a lot of people are intimidated, like a lot of other ATs or whatever? I mean,
I feel like no.
Experience?
From my experience, I feel no. For the most part, we're trained to the degree where we're capable of working with that population.
Right.
Yeah, the high performance athletes is something that we definitely go to, right?
Yeah.
We treat them.
What are the worst instances of injuries or accidents that happen?
The worst incidents?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like what's the worst thing I've seen?
Yeah, someone breaks something. Or...
Well, it's a little. It gets a little messy. But basically, someone was in a vehicular accident and they were hospitalized pretty badly.
How did you even get to that situation? They came to you directly, or?
Yeah, they came into my clinic and.
Oh shit!
Yeah, can't say too much about it for obvious reasons, but yeah.
What about sports related?
Sports related, yeah. I've seen a lot of injuries. Of course, I have more to see, but I have seen a lot, like fractures, wrist fractures meaning breaking of the bones, leg breaks.
What's your first response when you see it? Like, what goes on in your head?
The first response is to...
Like, what are you, like, do you just, like, stress out, like, immediately, or what's happening?
No, we're trained very heavily in school for these situations.
How do they do that?
They literally say, okay, so you have a basketball player who just broke his ankle and you can see the bone exposed, and now you're walking up to the scene and you're reading this on a piece of paper. Right. So here you go, and we'll do a test on you. And then that's how they test your practical skills in school.
Really?
Yeah, we're tested very heavily in the first responding point of view. Yeah.
What, do they have like alarms like blazing at you? Is people yelling at you? How do you like mimic that situation? I mean,
well, there'll be typically it's done. There's volunteers all around, and they help out quite frequently. So there's someone lying on the ground, and they have like fake blood, like chalk, really? Or like colored on their leg.
Damn.
Or like if they hit their head and they have a spinal injury, they might have like some what we call CSF or cerebrospinal fluid dripping out of their ear, nose.
Yeah.
Or raccoon eyes if they hit their head. Like it's all makeup, right? It's practical testing. So yeah, there's a lot of ways and tricks that they use to simulate the real life situation.
Have you came by any situations where like you didn't know what to do?
Where I didn't know what to do?
Yeah.
Have I came across it yet?
Yeah.
Well, when I was still a student in my second year, yes.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like now it's you're trained for most injuries.
Really?
So far, I'd have to say I haven't came across anything I didn't know how to take care of.
Right.
So far, but again, it's always coming down to researching, reading, learning.
Are you ever hard on yourself with performance, or do you always think you're, doing your best job?
Oh no, I'm always critical of
Yeah.
myself and my performance. Always critical.
Like, what do you think?
Well, I think there's lots of room for improvement.
Yeah.
For sure, in different areas. Like, no matter what, you could always improve, right?
Yeah. You beat yourself up like crazy?
No, I don't. I never beat myself up like crazy.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is I realize, okay, so I could apply more pressure doing this maneuver, and next time I'll make sure to do that or something like that. But yeah, I'm never like, oh, you suck. Like,
yeah,
that's terrible for your mindset.
Because I know, doctors have it worse, obviously, with that pressure of keeping someone alive and such like that. But
right,
you never came into that situation, right?
Where it was life or death?
Yeah.
Not yet. No. No. Hopefully, let's keep it that way. Let's hope everyone stays healthy.
Yeah, but you're a healthcare
professional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Let's hope that everyone stays healthy. Yeah.
So what, you're a busy guy. What? You constantly want to improve. What keeps you from quitting it all?
What keeps me from quitting it all?
Everyone has stress, right?
Yeah, everyone has stress, but just being honestly better than yesterday,
Yeah.
I don't know. I always strive on going above and beyond my previous self.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I don't do that, then it's just going against my own moral value, right?
Right. Previous to that moral value, was there something that escalated that?
Something that escalated,
focus on being better, a situation where you were down and whatever. So
yeah, I guess there was. Yeah, so I had a situation where I was basically I got my heart broken completely.
Oh, okay.
And I honestly feel like that's transformed me into what I am today.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Because you could either do one of two things. You could sulk and you can cry and do whatever you want. But if you're not resilient enough to stand up and to do what you got to do, as cliche as that sounds, you won't go anywhere.
So
that's when I started bodybuilding. That's when I started focusing on, school, work, professionalism, all that kind of stuff.
Damn, man, I didn't know that. That's new stuff to me.
Yeah, no, I don't share a lot of this with people, but I feel like if you literally hit rock bottom and you feel like you're going nowhere, that is the point that challenges you to the core, because you never know what's going to happen out of that. And you could either keep on going, or you could just quit and just say, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to just get a day job at whatever and not improve in any aspect. And you know what, I'll just be like that for a while. But
so that was a catalyst at that point.
Major catalyst.
So you're thankful, obviously, then.
Oh yeah. Very thankful.
Damn, man, that's huge.
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
That
was a while ago.
That
was a while ago. I was a young guy, young lad.
Nice, man.
Back when that happened. But yeah, honestly, I hope my son or whatever gets that, because that there's no kick in the ass like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest advice for anybody pursuing AT or anything, basically?
AT or anything.
AT or business,
healthcare or business. So if you are pursuing a career in business or healthcare or whatever, and you want to open something up, you need to start determining what it is and make a plan. As soon as you get a plan down, then you're good. Once you get a plan down, then just give her. You know what? You got to plan accordingly. I had this whole business lined up for 2 years. I had all the ducks in line. I just needed to get certified. Yeah. And once you have it all planned out, you will just, you got to make sure that you stay on track with all the goals that you have and set for yourself. Yeah. So main takeaway is make sure you're planning accordingly. And don't be afraid to execute, and don't be afraid to take the jump to open your business or start whatever online business, because nothing's holding you back. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself.
Do you think education is a must?
For business?
Formal education.
Formal education?
Like university or any type of schooling.
Formal education? Honestly, I feel like you could open a business without formal education. 100%.
Yeah.
As long as you read appropriate books and you follow the right guidance, you could open a business warranted. It's not a business that requires a degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You're not going to be a dentist on study.
For sure. But yeah, no, it's don't be afraid to take the jump and get started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for anything, right?
For anything. Yeah.
That's huge, man.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell the audience?
Make sure that your mindset is strong. That is something that I train and I focus and hammer down on. 99% of my off time is mindset. Mindset.
Yeah.
If you're toxic in your mindset or you're positive in your mindset, it'll make or break your game.
Right.
That's it. As simple as it is.
That's huge, man.
Right?
And I mean, having solid support too, right?
Yeah. Even if you don't have solid support, if you have a mindset of this, like a solid mindset where you could put your mind to something, you could just crush it. That's more than enough.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to have any support, really.
Crush it, Gary Vaynerchuk.
That's it. Simple as that.
So yeah, let's get into plugs. What do you want to plug?
Yeah, so you guys make sure to follow Recharge Sports Therapy on Instagram, like us on Facebook, like our stuff, share our stuff, and Wow Marketing 2020. Those are the 2 accounts on social media. But if anyone has any injuries, if anyone has any issues that they want massaged, feel free to come out to the clinic. The phone number is 204-615-4915, and we will get your body in check. So look no further. You will be better than yesterday at Recharge Sports Therapy.
Where is Recharge Sports Therapy?
1460 Arlington. It's in the northern side of Winnipeg. And yeah, it's a nice location there. We got a gym in there. We got a clinic in there, and we're constantly growing. So make sure to come check us out.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I get into my plugs. Obviously, you're listening to the podcast. This is the Guinto Show. You can follow me on Instagram, Guinto, Snapchat, Trey, Facebook, Guinto. You can find me on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean. Obviously, you're already on there. Basically, all podcast programs and apps. Yeah, subscribe, like, share with your friends. I mean, this is the first podcast I've done in a few months, 6 months. I mean, I already got into ending it, but then I should probably get into why I stopped podcasting. So, like Ryan was saying earlier, there's like a point in your life where you just had to concentrate on yourself, right, and build on what you're doing. That happened to me in September, basically. So there was like a relationship that was building and, that I was really pursuing. And then, that kind of just stifled off. There was no progress. So just like I decided to stop it right there. I kind of ghosted. It sounds bad, but it sounds like I ghosted this individual.
Oh, yeah.
So I stopped everything. I stopped going out. I stopped, the podcast, because it takes a lot to get everything organized. Like me and Ryan we planned this like so long ago, and just lining up schedules is a hard thing.
It is,
especially if you're hosting. You got to give your A game. You got to figure out what you're going to talk about. It's a lot.
For sure.
So yeah, I stopped that for a few months, and now I'm back. I'm glad that I got Ryan to do this because I always wanted him to be on the podcast for a long time.
Hey, I'm glad to be a part of it.
And it lined up perfectly because his business got started and we're finished school, so we're not behind the University of Manitoba guidelines.
As nice as it is, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's everything. The plugs, and this is the Guinto Show. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Nice. That's live. Can you see who they are?
No, they would have to.